national affairs correspondent Jeff Zeleny. He is at the White House for us. Jeff, good to see you. Sources telling CNN that top administration officials met today in the Situation Room about the House vote. What does that tell us? What are we learning?
Well, Casey, look, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that in the briefing today, confirming our CNN reporting that Lauren Boebert, of course, a single member of Congress, not a leadership member, not on any key committees, had that meeting in the Situation Room with the Attorney General of the United States, with the Deputy Attorney General, with the FBI Director. And of course, Lauren Boebert is one of the Republicans who has said she would cross over and sign that discharge petition, which would allow the House to go forward and vote on releasing the Department of Justice Epstein files. Lauren Boebert has just told our colleagues on Capitol Hill that she has no plans of changing her pledge to vote for that. But that extraordinary meeting here at the White House just underscores the stakes of all of this. The White House sought to explain the meeting in the Situation Room earlier today like this.
It is not a coincidence that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead of Republicans reopening the government.
Why are White House officials then meeting with Representative Boebert in an effort to try and get her to not sign this petition calling for the release of the files?
Doesn't it show transparency that members of the Trump administration are willing to brief members of Congress whenever they please? Doesn't that show our level of transparency?
So an extraordinary briefing by any measure. I cannot recall a time where effectively a rank and file member of Congress would have such a high level briefing in the Situation Room of all things. But never mind that. President Trump also pushing back in a very significant way on Truth Social throughout the day about the release of the Epstein files. I'll read you just a flavor of some of what is on his mind, Casey. The president writes this: the Democrats, he says, are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown and so many other subjects. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap. Any Republicans involved should be focused only on opening up our country. However, when the new member from Arizona is sworn in, the discharge petition is scheduled to happen sometime after that, and then the shutdown vote happens later this evening. But the bottom line to all of this is the whole reason the House of Representatives has been away for nearly 2 months. It is to effectively try and end the whole Epstein conversation. Well, that is right back happening this afternoon in ways the White House could not have anticipated it. So yes, they were scrambling a bit on this. But again, we should point out, even though the president's name has been mentioned several times in these in very interesting ways, still no evidence of any wrongdoing by him. But a question is, was he aware of any wrongdoing by Jeffrey Epstein? And that is less clear. Casey?
A remarkable set of facts at hand. Jeff Zeleny, thanks very much for that reporting. All right, our panel is here. CNN legal analyst Elliot Williams, CNN political commentator, Republican strategist and pollster Kristen Soltis Anderson, CNN political commentator Xochitl Hinojosa, and CNN senior political commentator, former Trump campaign advisor David Urban. We're also joined by Donald Trump's former attorney, Bill Brennan. Thank you all for being here on what is quite a newsy day. And David Urban, you're laughing to yourself. Yeah. This is obviously part of this release from the House Oversight Democrats here. I thought it was noteworthy that Caroline Leavitt used the word pedophile to describe Jeffrey Epstein. In the past, we've not heard White House officials use that word in the context of President Trump. How do you think the White House should be handling it? What does it tell you that they felt like they needed to meet in the Situation Room to try to prevent a vote for more of this to come out?
Yeah, look, the Situation Room is obviously, they're meeting there because probably went phones away and maybe talking about some very sensitive information regarding victims and other things. I mean, who knows? It's part of it may be classified. I'm not quite sure what they're discussing. But look, I've been pretty steadfast in my position on this from the get-go. Release everything, right? I don't understand why during the Biden administration, Democrats weren't so excited about releasing all these Epstein files when Joe Biden was president for 4 years. We could have had this. And we could have had a hearing. What I think, again, we should have the line attorneys in the Southern District of Miami, as well as Alex Acosta, who was the prosecutor in this case, that gave Jeffrey Epstein a lighter sentence. We should have a hearing. We want to know what's going on? Let's bring those people forward and hear from them. I'm not so concerned about what's in the files. I'm not sure there's anything in the files. But I'd like to know why they gave him a much, much softer deal than he would have gotten otherwise. And I'm much more concerned about why the Democrats for the past 4-6 years haven't said peep about it until today. Just it's a little too right. But I'm for total transparency. Let's get it out there. It's the best. Sunshine's the best disinfectant.
Bill Brennan, you have served as Donald Trump's attorney in past lives of yours, and obviously are a practicing attorney currently. This seems to stink. What would your advice be?
Well, to a large degree, Casey, I agree with David Urban. If there was a smoking gun, they would have released it. The thing that was released today was an alleged email exchange between a convicted felon, man who died in prison for being charged with heinous crimes, and a alleged journalist who, instead of just reporting on what he purportedly received, was giving strategy advice on how to use it. Maybe we can use it for political capital. Maybe we can put it in our back pocket. You know, Casey, I've been on your show many times, and you've never given me any talking points or strategy advice. You ask me questions, and I answer them. So I think that if there was a smoking gun, we would have heard it. And I agree with David to release it all. Let's see what's in there. You know,
Yeah.
if there's something bad, which I'll be shocked, frankly, but it is or it isn't. So release it all.
You're, of course, referring to Michael Wolff, who journalist, author, who was involved in these exchanges with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein that we saw today. Elliot Williams.
Yes.
There were some redactions in the documents that Democrats put out. Then Republicans released the redacted names. And they claim that it was because this victim, Virginia Giuffre, has publicly said she never witnessed any wrongdoing by President Trump. Obviously, the details here are important, but the big picture is also critical. I think I just keep coming back to this basic question of why won't they just put out all the files?
Yeah, and we have a stunning degree of unanimity on this conversation today because we're all in agreement that this stuff should have been out there. Let's be clear. This is 100% a crisis of Pam Bondi and Donald Trump's making. They let this mess happen. Had 6 months ago, they simply released the document, said, number one, this is what is in our possession that we are allowed to make public. Number two, this is the material in our possession that we are not allowed to make public because the law does not allow it. And number three, this is what Donald Trump knows. Some of it might be a little bit embarrassing, but number one, he thinks Jeffrey Epstein is a creep, but he did not engage in any wrongdoing, and here's what he knew. If they'd just done that 6 months ago, they wouldn't be here dealing with this mess. And Pam Bondi standing at the Oval Office and suggesting that she had binders of information that she was passing out and was set to release the whole file
Without
only
reading them.
made this situation worse. They screwed up.